Hello, today I'm showing how to make chapati or wheat porotta. So this is called Kerala porotta or Mysore porotta, Chennai porotta. In a lot of ways it's called. So first we'll take some atta powder, which is whole wheat powder in here, and then we'll use an egg, a little bit of salt, and let's put the salt now. Put some salt in there, just 1 teaspoon salt for say 1 kilo atta. Not too much. And then you just need to pour a lot of water. So we have some water in there. Now I have just added 1 egg, and how to add it is just put an egg into a glass, right, and just beat it up and then put it inside. And now I am nicely mixing it to the atta. Just make sure it's fully mixed. Now the main thing is how much water to put, so that will make all the difference on how you get this wheat paratha, right? So best way is to keep the water. I kept some water here. Let me add some water. Everybody use the same hand. Make sure you add it little by little, soaking the wheat powder into it. Just make sure it's not like big lumps of atta. All we're trying to do now is to mix it well. So how much water you want to put is, let's just say that it becomes, you want to evenly put the water, and we'll keep adding the water until it's a bit sticky, and then we'll get it in a dough format. Add some water. For this much of atta, I think it's like around half a liter water. So if it's like 1 kilo, might need less. So at the moment I can see that it's getting a bit sticky, right? This is when you need to make sure you put less water. Don't make it too sticky, because you want to make it in a dough format. Now you can see that it's in almost a dough format right now. So you can see the consistency here, right? It's not too sticky. It is getting in a dough format. Now you can still see some wheat flour, dry wheat flour on that. So we still need to knead it nicely. Just keep kneading it. If you think it's a bit hard, just keep adding some water. Don't make it too hard. You need to make sure that all the wheat is soaked nicely, and it's still in till dough. Keep kneading it. Now you can see this is the exact size. This is the format we need data to be in. It is sticky, right? It is still sticky, but it's not too sticky. You can feel it's all over my hand, but you can see it clearly. So now we stop adding water and then try to net it, but you can see it's sticking all over my hand. So this is the type we need. We just need to keep it for some time so that it's soaking all the water in. At that time, just make sure you put some oil. Yeah, add some oil to it. I'm putting gingerly oil, so totally healthy. So you'll be able to find gingerly oil anywhere in the stores. Make sure it's like pure gingerly oil, not the one which is jaggery is added. I don't use that. So add some oil and try to make the dough into, just try to roll it into a big lump. That's what I'm trying to do. It's still sticky, so we need it a bit sticky because that means that the water content is still little more than what's actually needed. But what that'll make is soft chapatis or soft paratha. So when you try to make it, we'll just add some atta powder, which I've kept it here separately. And now you can see I got it in the right consistency. It's coming out from the sides. I can still make a ball out of it, so you can make a big dough ball. So a lot of people say you need to keep it for like half an hour and 1 hour. I don't think that's required, and if you have the right amount of water, the atta powder will soak it nicely. Just keep it for some time, say 5 minutes or something, so that you get it all soaked up and ready to cook. So I think we are almost ready. So just your hands will be like this. I'll just clean my hands and then we can start. So make sure you put some oil so that all the sticky things, you get it out from the sides and you make it a big dough ball. So your heading part is over. So this is the main part of cooking it. So if this is done, you're like 60% done. Now the dough is done and it's in a consistency where you can actually make dough balls. It's not sticking to my hand now. I just added a little bit of atta powder to it so that it's you can take it into make it into a small ball. So that's how you take it, right? How much I take is depending on how much I want to make. So I usually make it like this much, which is like how much you can take in your hand and roll it into a ball. So make sure you take that much and then put it into the atta powder, right? And what else you need? You need a rolling board. I just put Klingon on top of it so that it doesn't stick anywhere. Next thing you need is a tawa, which is this is a cast iron tawa. So you can see this is not using non-stick. I have a non-stick pan there, but I'm going to use the classic way of using a cast iron tawa. And last thing but not the least, you need a spatula. So we are almost ready, so we just need to make this ball, so I can actually cast this ball now. So this is our ball. Keep it on this and you just need to roll it. So all you need to do is to make this as flat as possible, right? So got this well. So keep adding some other powder on top of it so that it doesn't stick on both sides. It's really flat, evenly. Flip it over, add some more powder. Just little by little, don't put too much water powder so that it gets too dry. The idea is to make it thin, as thin as possible. How much big you want to make? Probably as big as this wooden roller. It doesn't matter if it's round or a bit squarey type. Just adding more hot powder just to make sure it's not sticking. This is as big as this gets. I think that should be enough. No. Now what I've got is a flat, the way you make chapatis. This is really flat and thin. Made it big, it's not sticking anyway. The next thing is to add, say, 1 teaspoon of gingerly oil. So I'll just add it all over. And then make sure it gets everywhere. So now I have put my oil, put 1 full coating of oil everywhere, and add a little bit of, sprinkle a little bit of atta powder. Right, that should be enough. Now I'm going to make layers. So this is the most important part. You need to make sure, just take one end of it and put it like that. So you're basically folding it, and then you need to make another fold. Make sure it's small side, tap it up so that it sticks. Then I'm going to make another fold. So this is quite important because this is what is going to make all the layers in your paratha, right? One after the other, just make it one on top of the other. Right, now I've got all the layers, just tap it. Now you can see it's got so many layers now. And what I'm going to do after I get this is I'm going to roll it, take one end, roll it like this and make it around. Make sure you have this thing caught properly so that you can all the layers are not mixed up. Catch it properly and then make it, roll it into one piece, and in the end just tuck this end to the middle, something like this, right? And you have this dough ball ready with all the layers. Now what I usually do is sprinkle a little water into the pores, just to make sure everything is alright. So now the dough ball is ready. All you need to do is now to flatten this. Now do not use the roller to roll this. That's the very important point, because that will make this whole thing flatten and you won't get the layers properly. So now this thing is quite soft, so what I can do is, if you see, I can just put my fingers and then flatten out. What I'm going to do is use my hand, so just press your hand and make it wider. So when you use your hand, you can see all the layers are still intact on both sides. So just flip it over, use your hand to flatten it in the round fashion. Make it evenly. Use this part of your hand so that it gets all even and flat. Don't try to rub it like this, because that'll spoil all the layers. I can still see the layers here. Just gently pressing it and get it this way. So make sure it's this thick, right? So you want to flatten it a little more so that it becomes a bit more thinner. You can do it as much as thin as you want it, but I would keep this paratha a little thick so that all the layers are intact. Once it's like as big as the palm of your hand, that should be enough to stop it. So how much the dough you're taking is what gets inside your hand. You don't need more dough than that. So that's like a rule of thumb. Now you got this paratha. It's ready to cook now. So it's as big as your palm, and it's not too thick, not too thin, just enough. You can still see the layers in here. You can see the spiral layers. That's what's important. Make sure it's not broken. Now we'll get into the how to make it. Now you have the paratha ready to cook. So I'll just on my tawa. Make the tawa hot, but not too hot actually, so you don't want to burn your paratha. Put it on medium and let it be hot evenly. Looks like the tawa is warm enough now, so I'm putting my paratha on it. Just keep it for like 30 seconds and you can flip it over. The trick is to make sure that one side doesn't get burnt. You need to evenly cook it. You can see the fumes coming out now, and you can see that a little bit of color change on this side when the other side gets a little done. So at that time and just flip it over. Yeah, so you can see now the side is a little done. So at this time I'll add some oil to it. Now we're trying to make a healthy paratha here, so don't put too much oil, so we just add some oil a little bit, and the oil we're using is gingerly oil only for the whole cooking. Sure, this is not an oil free paratha, but trust me, whenever you buy it from outside it's gonna have a lot of different oils, which is not good. So how much oil I'm taking is just a little bit, sprinkling it and then rub it away. In that case it's less oil used. Remember, we have one layer of oil already inside it, so now flip it over every few 5-10 seconds, and you can see the whole color is changing into a very good golden brown. Make sure the whole, you can see this little bit of not done here. Make it well done as much as you want, but you'll get a white color and a little golden brown all over it. That's when you know it's almost done. Don't have to cook it too much, but around 5 to 10 flips, this is like done. Yeah, don't make it too dry as well. If any part is not done, just keep it and just press it using the spatula. This paratha is done for me. The next thing is to transfer this into a plate. Yeah, this is your Kerala paratha, Kerala wheat paratha done, and you can see still see all the layers in it. You can see all the spiral layers coming up. So then the last thing what you want to do after it's cooked on the pan is to just crumble it a little from the sides, just to make sure. So how I do it is just roll it on from all the sides, or just crumble it. Just crumble it like this. If you do it with both of your hands, then that should be enough. So now you can see all the layers come up. See the layers. And that's how you make Kerala paratha at home. So this is like totally healthy. You're using gingerly oil, you're using water and egg. If you're vegetarian, you don't need to use egg, it'll still come this good. So this is homemade Kerala paratha. Now the dough is ready, so after the paratha is done, you can make more parathas, or you can store this dough in the fridge. How you want to store this, put some oil on top of it, right? Put some oil on top of it and spread it nicely. Make sure that all the sides are taken off, because this becomes hard after some time. So flat. Make sure it's flat. Nothing is on the side. See how it's ready. Put a cling on top of it. You could put a wet cloth, but that's not required in this case because you want to store it in the fridge, or you can keep it outside. That's fine. So just put it on. Once you put a cling on, it's all right. It's all airtight and good to go. And whenever you need paratha, you can just take it out, make few dough balls, and then you know the rest. Thanks for watching.